So that was just 30 seconds of silence. And I bet that, like me, for you, many things were still happening, actually, in the midst of this silence, in the midst of the non-happening, of the non-doing. So Yoke, of course, it's going to resonate with what you have said today. This is one of the concepts that I find most interesting in Taoism, which is this very ancient philosophy, this very ancient Chinese philosophy, which tries to explain actually how the world, how the universe, how the cosmos, and how life work. And it also tries to provide practices and methods to live long in tune and in harmony with these with the laws of the cosmos. And you know it through, for example, Tai Chi, Qigong, or acupuncture. So, the concept of happening in the non-happening is best symbolized with the Tao itself. This is the symbol of the Tao, and it actually summarizes, it models, according to the Taoist, the universe, the laws of the universe in a very, very concise way. What you can see is actually the yin, or the feminine principle, represented in this symbol, this circle in black, and yang, the masculine principle, symbolized in white in this circle too. These two yin and yang are actually the two primary forms of expression of the qi, or life force, or energy flows. Maybe some of you are already familiar with it. And the yin and the yang actually have different attributes and qualities, which can actually seem very opposite in the first place. So these are some of them. So I'll let you read them. For example, yin would also be the night, the moon, earth. Yang would be represented as well, like day, sun, or sky. Maybe some of these qualities or attributes would be surprising for you, but this is the forms that the yin and the yang modalities can take. So actually the yin and the yang, as I said, are seemingly opposite, but actually rather they are complementary to each other, and even integrated within each other. That's what you can see in these symbol of the Tao, because in the yang, in the white yang, you also have actually the small circle of yin, and the other way around. And this, why? Because, for example, without night, day wouldn't exist. And so actually in the night itself contains already the idea of the day. Likewise, within the yin, you already have the seed for the emergence of the yang. And in the same way, you also have, in the non-happening, the hidden seed invisibly preparing already for the happening. So knowing that, if we look at the challenges, the obstacles, or the conflicts that we all have to deal with in our daily basis, or in the world, let's look at how we react to these obstacles or challenges. Generally, what we tend to do is that we tend to put even more yang, even more words, even more action, even more fight or arguments into the situation in question. And actually, instead, what I would like to do is to invite you to actually tap into the force and the power of the yin. And because in the yin, there is already the emergence for the next right move, for the next right action. So what does that mean, tapping into the yin? It means, first, actually pausing. When the ideas don't come, you pause, and then applause comes, for example. So it means actually pausing, then holding for a little while the doing. It also means, for example, turning deeply inwards. These are yin attributes, yin quality. It also means looking beneath or beyond what is actually invisible to the eye. Looking beneath what is visible to the eye, sorry. And so that you, in order to already actually feel the first seed, the first forms of the next action, of the next manifestation of yang. It also means actually to trust that the right doing will emerge from non-doing, from not doing. And also, more emotionally speaking, it means actually to overcome, own the fear and the anxiety of not doing, even when we feel the urge to do it, of not knowing what will come next. That's the invitation I want to bring to you. And how did I come to discover that? I did it because when I quit my stable job, my well-paid job, 1.5 years ago, to take 2 years off, so of rest, of waiting, of rest actually to find out what I wanted to do with my life and with my career. So initially I wanted to do it only when I would know what I would like to do, until I read one line in a book. This book is called Women Who Run with Wolves, from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. It's a very famous book. And in one of her tales, she actually encourages women to find back the way home to themselves and to their soul. And this specific line simply said, "Don't be afraid of not knowing." And the day after, I talked to my line manager and I told her I would leave the company, and three weeks later I resigned. So in the last 1.5 years, I must say that I've had many depressing days, many anxious days, where I would wake up in the morning and would know that everybody else would be going to work, would have a job, except me. And I would feel guilty. I would feel ashamed. I would cry. I would lie on the kitchen floor many times. Because slowing down, waiting, reflecting, or introspecting in a world, in a society where actually action over inaction is rewarded and is valued, this is difficult. This is very difficult, and I think it takes a lot of yin, of matter, of density within ourselves to actually go through only one day in such a state. So it was difficult, but in this process, I've learned to trust. I've learned that this process has been only energy consuming because I was resisting the yin force, the flow of the yin. If I would have actually surfed with the flow of the yin, I would have gone into it effortlessly. And I would also let the right action emerge. And I would trust that it will emerge when the time will be ripe. And I've learned to do it, and it's paid off because in the meantime, especially in the last weeks actually, I've found my life purpose. It is to help people and societies to rise in consciousness. I have also defined for myself a genuine vision where I would see in the future myself working with the governments and the leaders of this world to enlighten their decisions with empathy, love, compassion, wisdom, and intelligence. That's my vision. And actually since then, I've been writing it to the organizations. And 3 organizations last week, and all of them responded to me. So opportunities are simply rising up since I embraced it and stopped fighting. So for today, now that you've learned a little bit about the yin force, that you've actually gotten acquainted to these qualities of the yin, I would like to encourage you to learn to recognize these qualities and the force, the power of the yin in your everyday life too. And I would like to encourage you to realize when you can embrace the yin attributes and the power actually for yourself, for your work, to serve your relationships, to serve your health. So trust me, I'm a living example for that at least. Trust me, you can really trust the power of the yin. You can really trust the power of the yin principle, the feminine principle. Thank you very much.